Hello, friends. It is time tonight to have a blast and chat about hair, which I got a lot of, and the hormones, which all us girls know all too well. We sometimes have too much of those too. So my name is Ashley Dia and I am a Young Living Diamond. I've been in the business for about 4 years and it's been an amazing journey where I've learned all kinds of body support things, retired my husband, do this full-time from home, and love empowering and helping other women step into their purpose and truly experience a life of abundance with a super cool business model of sharing is caring at the absolute center. So tonight we are just gonna chat about two of my favorite topics. I will go ahead and tell you I'm not a doctor. I am not here to diagnose, treat, prescribe, or cure any of your ailments about your hairs on your head, your hormones in your body, or anything else. But what I am here for is to be your partner in this and share everything for informational and educational purposes only. I will also caution you that each and everything that I refer to when we talk about a product recommendation is absolutely only a Young Living product that I can speak on behalf of, and that's because I know about our C2CL standards. If you'll comment below and just give me your favorite emoji to describe Young Living if you're already on board and a partner with us. And we've been around for over 25 years, and what's amazing about us is that we also are the only company in the world that makes essential oils where we have that C2CL guarantee, and we actually have our own farms where you can go and be part of the process. Absolutely amazing. You can use oils in 4 different ways. And again, if you want more information, whoever referred you to this class, I would invite you to get with them. They can help you get your premium starter kit, and they can actually hook you up with a lifestyle that's going to propel you and break generational health burdens that you may have had before. So go ahead, get that out of the way. The next thing I would encourage you with is girlfriend, if you are not on the Essential Rewards program, there is no better time to get your butt onto Virtual Office. Click on the left side of Essential Rewards, set up your Essential Rewards. It's honestly Young Living paying you back and rewarding you for just being a super loyal customer. You actually get freebies at the 100, 190, 250, and 300 PV level. You save up to 25% on things you already purchased and replacement buy. So make a little list tonight of all the things you want, hop on, alter your ER order, and make sure you're good to go moving forward. The way this class is going to work is first we're going to talk hair, then we'll go into hormones. We're going to talk about each area and talk about why it matters, what to do, and then some recommendations to get your foot in the door. This is by no means your last step in this process. This is just a first step, like an appetizer of what to do in these 2 areas, and then we can delve deeper to a personal wellness plan for you for 90 days that you would work with your Young Living sponsor to do. If you don't have somebody who referred you and you're just my Facebook friend seeing this, I will gladly be your sponsor and add you to our team and help you get started. All right, let's chat hair. Background in this. Cosmetics and their ingredients do not have to undergo any type actually of approval process before they hit the store shelves, like no approval process at all. So the terms natural and the terms organic, they actually are pretty meaningless and they have no real definition in the marketplace. So in other words, it's a free for all when it comes to the cosmetics industry. So some products may include a few organic products in them along with several chemical ones, and they can still be labeled as natural or organic. In fact, in a report released in 2008, y'all, the Organic Consumers Association found at least one toxic cancer-linked chemical in over 40% of products that actually claimed the word natural on their label. Yep, on their label. Disgusting. So here we go, guys. Here's a little list, a shortened list of ones that you can find in your hair products. Proteins. So some of these are on the list, others are disguised as a protein, which is not horrible in itself for your hair, but too much of a good thing is never a good thing, especially when it's a chemically modeled protein that's not naturally occurring in your hair. Isopropyl alcohol, fragrance, phthalates, formaldehyde, sodium lauryl sulfate, propylene glycol. Like, these are nasty carcinogens, gross, clog your cells at the cell receptor level, inhibit communication, and definitely inhibit gorgeous locks. So also, if you're wondering, my gorgeous locks didn't get washed and tamed today. So I'll tell you some of my tips It usually looks way better than this. Commercial shampoos in general are super harsh, and they actually use detergent ingredients that strip your scalp and your hair of its natural oils. Those natural oils in your head, girlfriend, are essential for healthy hair. As a result, your body will then produce more oils. Then you need to buy another product and another product and another product. Same thing with like curly hair specialty products. Your hair needs curl added to it. Well, awesome. Guess what happens? You actually strip your hair of its ability to curl by some of those nasty chemical constituents. Then you have to buy more curling products and curling shampoo and a curling conditioner and a curling jelly and a curling cream and all of those things. So what can we do to keep our heads healthy and pH balanced? So pH balance in your head is what actually inhibits like any nasty critters that might want to jump onto your head and live there. It inhibits them from getting on. It reproduces new hair follicles, which is new hair growth. It keeps your hair pH balance so it's calm and it's not actually all frizzy and has flyaways. So some ideas for this. And hair is much simpler, y'all, than hormones. We'll spend a little less time on this one. So a greasy scalp, let's start there. If you have a greasy scalp, something great that you can do first and foremost is you want to swap over those nasty chemical ingredients for something that's not only going to be healthy, but it's going to be pH balance restorative to your hair. So I did that first and foremost. I went through a brief detox period, but what I did is I actually started off with a apple cider vinegar rinse to restore scalp pH in replacement of a commercial hair conditioner. So my recipe for that is 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1/2 cup of warm water, a pinch of salt, and 1 tablespoon of V8 from Young Living. Oh my goodness, V6 oil from Young Living, and I use that as a scalp rinse and then a way to comb up my hair in the shower to help be pH balance restorative. Suggested oils to add that are rosemary, cedarwood, and lavender, depending on your targeted goals. Rosemary and cedarwood are great for stimulating new hair growth. Lavender is great for calming and soothing. So there is my first tip for restoring pH and having a healthy pH scalp balance. My next tip for you is if you do have a greasy head and you are going through an overall period, making a DIY dry shampoo is an awesome way to go. You can actually just use the Savvy Minerals foundation that works for you as far as your scalp color and use it as a dry shampoo to absorb the excess oil. Because here's the deal, you don't want to inhibit the scalp's production of oil, you just want to absorb the excess oil. Other recipes are 1/2 cornstarch, 1/2 baking soda, and then you can add cocoa powder or again the Multitasker the foundation to get your exact color of your skin. So how many of y'all have ever had a greasy scalp? Like your scalp is greasy. We'll talk about flaky scalps next, but how many of y'all, raise your hand, give me a praise hand, give me a high five, tell me if you've ever had a greasy scalp. So I tend to need a lot of oil in my hair. I tend to be a dry scalp gal myself, but if you have a greasy scalp and you're really looking to restore that pH balance, I would do that first with that rinse, and then I would actually recommend using the lavender mint conditioner and shampoo from Young Living, because they're gonna really help, not without having parabens or phthalates in them, coat your hair and make it so it's gonna be a lot smoother in this area, and it's gonna be a lot less buildup on your scalp because it rinses clean. So lavender mint is what I recommend for sure. And you can actually add cedarwood and peppermint to that shampoo and conditioner to get even more of a powerful scalp cleanser. I would also recommend that you stop pooing on your hair. No, not that kind of poo. Shampooing your hair every day and move to an every other day or a 2 times a week schedule, y'all, because you will get that grease slick hair under control right away. Because again, when we strip the oil from our hair, we're signaling to our brain and storing our cellular memory to make more oil. Make more oil. Make more oil. Just like if you don't eat enough food, then your body signal that it gets from your brain is she's starving, she's starving, she's starving. Keep the food, keep the food, keep the food, because she's starving, she's starving, she's starving. All right, guys, so our next type of hair is going to be a dry scalp that we're going to talk about. And a dry scalp is super interesting because with this kind of scalp, what's happening is a lot of us pick at it. We try to dry up the white flakes. We try to flake them off. We get irritated. It's itchy. We wash it too often. Hey. So what I would recommend first and foremost is for just a healthy scalp in general. Tea tree is great. And actually what I use in my kids' heads every day before they head to school, which is I use an 8-ounce spray bottle, and then I add 20 drops tea tree, 20 drops lavender, 10 rosemary, 10 geranium for a healthy hairspray to keep those little critters at bay and keep our heads healthy. So that is great for a dry scalp as well, because it's gonna help your skin understand that it's at the right place. It's gonna be encouraging to your skin, if that even makes sense, and it's gonna help signal again to your brain, which signals to your hair that she's good, you don't need to be in self-protection mode anymore. So for a dry scalp, I recommend the Copaiba Lavender combination of shampoo and conditioner, and that's because these two are highly anti-friction. They're gonna be more soothing, and they're gonna be soothing more to your skin as well. All right, next thing for a dry scalp. I would estimate if you have a dry scalp, many of you might have dry hair as well. Something super awesome to do is just a spray mix that you can use for yourself, and that would be 2 to 3 ounces of alcohol-free witch hazel, 30 drops cedarwood, 30 drops lavender, 20 drops rosemary, 10 drops geranium, and that's gonna be like a hair growth / healthy hair spray that's not just for keeping the bugs at bay, but a little bit different of a spray. Also, in general, if you have a drier scalp, then you're gonna make sure that you don't use things that are gonna be more drying to your hair. There's a mermaid hairspray. I'm sorry, I have to scroll up on here. There's a mermaid hairspray recommendation I have for you. It is a 4-ounce spray bottle, and you add 3 ounces of witch hazel, and then you do 10 drops cedarwood, 10 drops lavender, 10 drops rosemary, and fill the rest of the way with water. And what I love about that is it's gonna be spraying lightly on hair. It's not gonna stimulate the scalp to be itchy or irritated, and I simply love it. So again, these recipes, y'all are like, can she post these? Y'all, I can post all these. But what I want you to start realizing is that you really have to play around with your scalp and your hair conditioning to get an equal balance of where you're headed as far as what kind of look you want from your hair. So for me, super dry hair, it's like frizzy dry. And what I actually love to use is the brand new Mira Shave Oil. I love the Mira Shave Oil in my hair. It was brand new last year, so let me go back. Excuse me, not the Mira Shave Oil, but the Mira Hair Oil. Who thinks that stuff is the jam? The Mira Hair Oil has been an absolute game changer for my family and I, because I just love how it looks on my hair. I love the way it makes my hair feel. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll up for something real quick with this, but it is, I wanted to read a couple things about it. So when I use this, I actually use it right when I get out of the shower and my hair's damp. And then what I do is I massage about 2 droppers full in my hands and put all over my hair. If you have less hair, you need maybe 1 to 2 drops. It improves manageability, softness, and shine of your hair. It leaves hair silky and glassy looking. It's also very glossy. It really mineralizes frizz and flyaways and tangles. It restores damaged hair. It's great on dry or wet hair, and it is a vegan-friendly product. So when I use it on dry hair, I use a little less. Sometimes I use it just to maintain, or just to like tame this in part, or even to tame flyaways at the top of my head. So there's one more thing that I do want to mention, and that's supplementation for healthy hair. It's something that I don't know that I was super clueful. I didn't have lots of clues about this when I first started. And that is that Sulfurzyme, BLM, and Ningxia Red really are the healthy building blocks for healthy hair that's lustrous and luminous and sexy. So Sulfurzyme is important because sulfur is often referred to as one of the building blocks of good hair. And there's a good reason for that, y'all. Our hair is comprised of a durable protein called keratin. Keratin's #1 ingredient is sulfur. So swallow Sulfurzyme pills or use Sulfurzyme powder in your Ningxia Red, build keratin, get healthy hair. Seems pretty logical to me. And then that infusion of nutrients through Ningxia Red is going to be super helpful as well. And again, any toxin we can get rid of is going to help our hair be the healthiest it can possibly be. So now we're gonna go into hormones, and just, I'm gonna make you all take a little stretch break. Just want you to step off the side of your computer, maybe step off the side of your phone, and I just want you to take one really big deep breath, and I want you to literally comment below the one hormonal beast that you was trying to tame. Okay, take about 15 seconds. one hormonal beast. I don't mean the name of your girlfriend. I mean you, girlfriend. The hormonal beast in your life you're trying to tame. Step away. I'm going to do it for about 15 seconds. Let y'all breathe and comment below with that. I don't see any hormonal beast comments. Don't be all shy and quiet. You jumped on a Facebook Live about hormones, honey. So hormones. Man, I have lots of notes on this because I want to make sure I don't skip things. So hormones in general, what they actually are is they're chemical messengers in our bodies that are created in our endocrine glands. These are little messengers that control most of our body functions, actually, from really simplistic basic needs like hunger to complex things like reproduction and really making sure we keep a baby, are able to get pregnant, all of those things. And even our emotions and our mood, they're actually ruled by our hormones. Understanding major hormones and what they do in your body will really take you personally a while, but will help you get your health journey under control. So let's take a look in general at some of our major hormonal systems in our body and where they're created. And let's go through those glands. So the main hormone producing glands, and this is where I need to pull up those notes. Hypothalamus. So our hypothalamus is responsible for body temperature, hunger, moods, and the release of hormones from the other glands. It also controls thirst, sleep, and sex drive. Pretty important thing right there, right? Our parathyroid. Parathyroid controls the calcium in our bodies, regulates calcium. The thymus. This gland is actually plays a major role in the adaptive immune system and maturity of our T cells and maturity of our thymus, which our thymus does what? Immune function. Crazy. Our pancreas. Our pancreas helps us control blood sugar levels. Our pancreas is actually a hormonal organ. Like, take that for a second and just really think about it. Thyroid. Your thyroid really helps regulate heart rate and produces hormones associated with calorie burning and metabolism. Your adrenal gland, your adrenals, are what controls sex drive and cortisol, which is our stress hormone. So your adrenals are off and your whole life is going to be off. And that is, again, cortisol is a hormone. Pituitary gland. This is considered the master control gland. It controls all of the other glands and it actually triggers growth across every single organ system in our bodies. Yeah. The pineal gland. So the pineal gland is also called the thalamus, and this is it produces serotonin, derivatives of melatonin, and affects sleep. So this is really like our sleep gland. Ovaries and testes. So ovaries in women secrete estrogen. They actually are responsible for ovulation, and then they're also going to produce testosterone and progesterone. And then testes, only in men. They produce the male sex hormone, which is testosterone. They actually also produce the element of male sex function, which is sperm. So guys, comment below and let me know which of those are you like, didn't know that was a hormone, baby. Like, never heard of it, not sure, learned something new. So major types of hormones in our body. For women, estrogen or estradiol is the major hormone. This is what causes puberty in women, the rise of it, prepares the body and the uterus for pregnancy. It really prepares us monthly for our cycle and maintains it. And during menopause, estrogen levels change and they cause a huge amount of what can be uncomfortable symptoms in women. Progesterone is very similar to estrogen. Not gonna go deeply into this, but this is really not a main sex hormone. This is really support hormone that helps regulate mood, and it's really going to be a support role in pregnancy more than any other time in our lives. So cortisol is labeled the stress hormone because the way it assists the body in a stress response. There's several functions to that stress hormone, but just know what it is. melatonin. Melatonin levels change throughout the day. They increase and they decrease, and actually after dark they should increase to trigger that response that causes sleep. Testosterone, main sex hormone in men, causes puberty, increases bone density, so even in women we need healthy testosterone levels, triggers facial hair growth, and causes muscle growth and strength. So guys, when these are all in proper balance, our hormones are really just there to help our bodies thrive, and small problems with our hormones can actually cause big ripple effects and life-altering symptoms that we can't always fix on our own. So I wanted to go through with that because for me, learning about our hormones was super important to my health journey, and this balance can be disrupted and it can make us feel crazy, but we can. Progesterone and estrogen have to be present in women, and they have to be there and present to create increased physical desire. And that's something that a lot of us just really question. And then DHEA is another one, along with cortisol. It's gonna help with growth. And when these are out of whack, we feel like a disaster, and rightfully so. So let's be real. Let's chat a little bit about what to do. So first, I would recommend that you get tested. You get tested from your doctor, or there's many online places where you can send in a cheek swab. You can even send in blood for some of them, but get a full hormone panel and screening to know your levels, know where you are, and know where you stand hormonally. I want you to give me a high five below if you've had a full hormone panel in the past 5 years. So let's talk about what to do once you know what's happening on your panel. We'll start with Femigen. So Femigen is a capsule. It's formulated with herbs and amino acids, and they're actually designed to balance and support the female reproductive system with youth supplements all the way through menopause. It has herbs like wild yam, which we know is great for progesterone. It has dibmania, it has dong quai, along with synergistic amino acids and essential oils to supply nutrition that's supportive specifically of your system as a woman. The next thing that I'll mention is Endogize. So Endogize is one that's great for supporting healthy hormone levels of the whole body. So if you know you need one area to work on, this is a great way to support your body so it doesn't cause another ripple effect in other areas. So I'm just gonna mention these kind of randomly, but I want you just to take note if this is for you. So Mister is one that is great for men, but also great for women, because we know testosterone is important for women as well. And this is what it helps is it helps support mental stability during stress. Supports a healthy prostate as well, and it's great for low testosterone levels in men and women. Dragon Time is a favorite for many of us. I like to use it the week of my cycle. Many of my friends that know they need it more often use it inside their ankles, which is our female, actually our female Vitaflex point. And what I mean by that is it's a female reproductive system point. It's a calming and soothing blend. It smells like kind of mild. I smell a little bit herbaceous scent when I smell it. And this is one that includes clary sage, and it contains natural phytoestrogen. So it's a perfect choice for women and her emotions during that cycle, during that time of the month, especially when there's a higher need for it and a higher amount of estrogen needed to support your body. It's balancing, it's great for supporting healthy emotions during the cycle. It's recommended for both young and mature women. So the next oil with that is Progessence Plus, and this is actually a serum and not an oil. This is what I call Mama's Happy Oil. I use it every single day. I do know from a hormone panel, from getting healthy hormones looked at, that I do need this for sure from a medicinal standpoint, as well as from a mood standpoint, sister. So it's the first ever pure progesterone serum to enter the market. It was formulated by Dan Purser, and it's pure, super micronized progesterone from a wild yam, and it's made into a therapeutic grade oil. I'm really thankful for it. I love this so much, and clary sage is also one of them in this way that I use really often. It's also great for beautiful, healthy skin. So go ahead and comment below, girls, if you've used P+ before. My next one, again, as I mentioned, clary sage. It's another one that has been known for just healthy, long-lasting estrogen levels. Other oils that might be helpful in this area are fennel. Fennel is also wonderful for nursing mamas. Anise, sage, sclerescence, lady sclerob, and sclerescence comes in vitality, and that's amazing because you can actually take it in a capsule and get it right into your internal organs that way. So when we talk about clary sage, there's two of them that I love to use together, and that's clary sage and myrtle. So clary sage is actually, this is kind of fun. Clary sage is from the mint family, crazy town, right? And it is soothing in nature. It has a warming effect when applied to the skin, particularly the belly area. So I like to use that on the belly. It's relaxing and soothing to the nervous system. And many women have found like serious support when mixing clary sage with marjoram, cinnamon, ginger, and geranium and rubbed on the abdomen. So it's great for occasional belly tension, especially during that time of the month. So the next one that's pretty awesome. So clary sage is just great for healthy stress management, all of that. Hey, Sclarison's Vitality is for sure better ingested. Yeah, the Vitality version. Really cool about myrtle, and I want to tell you a story about myrtle that I love, and it's a biblical basis, and I hope you'll love it as much as I do. So here's the deal about myrtle. Esther's name from the Bible was Hadisha, which in Hebrew is myrtle. This is one of the major parts of her perfume that she got bathed in. She got a massage in every day for an entire year. And an entire year when she was bathed in that, and its namesake, and her namesake, right? The fantastic properties that surrounded what she was doing were amazing. Myrtle has been researched for having a clear herbaceous scent similar to eucalyptus, and it is great for respiration, skin, and hair. It's also great for glandular things, which what I've heard, glandular, right? Hormones are made from glands. It's a great oil to rub along the abdomen, along with clary sage around the ankles, which are those female reproductive points via VitaFlex technique. Crazy town. Really wanted to highlight and hit those up because I hope that you guys realize that this stuff is just uber important, that you need to be taking notes. And we're going to go back over kind of a long section about this in just a moment. It's an excerpt from a book that I'm going to read you guys. But the next one that I would say is a daily support. Like mama needs it every day. I don't know if you need it every day, but I sure do. And that is Endoflex. Endoflex comes in a Vitality version, and it also comes in just a topical application or diffusible version. I use this oil every single day right here. And I actually use it in partnership with Endoflex that I use midway on my back over my adrenal glands. So this blend amplifies metabolism and vitality to create some balance. Has spearmint in it as well. It's helpful for, again, metabolic process. So it has sage, which is great for energy, great for negative emotions and getting rid of them. It has geranium, which is great for those feminine parts of us. It has myrtle, which we've already talked about, and has German chamomile. So German chamomile is an uber important oil for your liver. So when we chat Vitality version, we're talking liver support for Endoflex. If you're applying it topically, it's great applied to your lower back, over your thyroid, liver, feet, and your VitaFlex points. You can do this as well. It's one that, again, comes in Vitality, so you can take it in your Ningxia Red or take it in your Clear Veggie Capsule. So that's how we can talk about it being a supportive oil. So let's talk about some different parts of our brain. Yeah. Pituitary gland. I'm just speaking real slowly because I want y'all to listen. Pituitary gland is master gland of our life. It sits at the base of our brain, just below the hypothalamus. It is the master gland. If anything's off with your pituitary gland, everything in your body's off. It senses the body's needs and sends signals to all of our other glands and organs to regulate their function. So if it secretes hormones to regulate the function of the thyroid, the adrenals, or the testes, and if those aren't functioning right, ain't no body system functioning right. So the pituitary gland controls metabolism, reproduction, growth, blood pressure, and a host of other frankincense. That makes no frankincense. A host of other functions. So a couple other things that I love to do to aid in a healthy endocrine system. So again, Vitality versions, we would talk system support. So let's actually just take a pause and I'll just name some of my favorite oils to use along with this process. They are frankincense, vetiver, cedarwood. So really, I would use these oils often. I would also apply them at the base of your neck at your brainstem every day. Yeah, pretty amazing stuff. So you might want to journal and jot these down and just think about how your body responds to stress differently. One day when you're not doing this versus another day when you are actually doing these suggestions. You might also want to like stop and journal these because there are a few more things that you might want to investigate later on in your journey. Cortistop, Endogize, Ephimogen, Immune Pro, PD8020, Progestins Plus, Prostate Health, Dragon Time, Lady Sclerol, Mr. Sclerescence, Progestins Plus, Prostate Health. Yeah, already mentioned 2 of those twice because we're not gonna have time to go over every single one in detail. So now let's talk a little bit about something that I actually got as an excerpt from a book, and the book is called Taming the Dragon Within, and it's something that I want to make sure that you guys really understand what happens here. When we talk about the major hormones in a woman, estrogen and progesterone, we really want to understand that most women have an excess of estrogen and a deficiency in progesterone. So excess of estrogen, deficiency of progesterone. And I'm not actually going to reference any oils in here. I'm talking just as a woman to woman because I have no idea what your health is, but I want to encourage you to find it out. So I want to address the role of progesterone first. I want you to understand this. A woman needs progesterone to get pregnant and to stay pregnant. It promotes gestation, progesterone. Great way to remember it. If progesterone levels in the body are normal, then they will be just fine. You won't even know. If they're too low, then either the ovaries won't release their eggs or the eggs, when fertilized, can't attach to the inner lining of the uterus. Crazy, right? Progesterone is also produced in our ovaries and it's stored in our fat tissues throughout our body. So that's why when we talk about getting pregnant, a lot of times women are encouraged to gain a little weight if they are too thin. It's critically important in our female bodies, even if we're not intending to become pregnant or remain pregnant. If you aren't menopausal, don't have periods, you've even had a hysterectomy. So here's what we found out. Even exciting discoveries have shown that progesterone is necessary for all women and even some young girls because there's hormone receptors on our individual cells and maybe all our cells, we're not sure yet, throughout our body that act as gateways for progesterone to enter in. It's especially true for those female areas of the body. It's also a neurosteroid, which means it's used in the nervous system to aid in communication between our body systems. It is really an amazing thing to look at. And I'm not going to tell anybody to like go off your antidepressant. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not a doctor, but I will say a lot of our hormones are affecting our mood and you need to look into that a little bit more. Progesterone post-baby. Uber important because usually your sexual pleasure and sexual drive is decreased. So this will help you play a role in making it round chicken brown cow around your house a little more. So think postpartum period for up to 5 years. For a lot of us women, we need to make sure we are using extra of this hormone. All right, so progesterone and estrogen have to be together at the same time. So if you know you're low in estrogen, again, encouraging you to take a test, then what you want to do is you want to make sure you're stimulating your estrogenic compounds in your body, because progesterone, if there's no estrogen present, it doesn't actually work together. They are very, very, very much a symphony together. They produce little side concertos of things, and it is going to oppose or contrast estrogen. So it's very helpful in bringing these two into balance together. So let's talk about estrogen. It's vital for women, even more vital than progesterone. But again, American women tend to have at the scale nowadays of too much estrogen. That's because we eat a lot of animal products. That's because we touch like those soft, pliable plastics that are estrogenic. And a lot of times this also is why we have that new feminizing of bodies earlier, as early as age 6 to 8, where you're getting those like fatty tissues forming earlier and periods starting earlier. Blood vessels and bones are maintained by estrogen, and the reason that we have too much of this estrogen, I'm gonna go again and talk about it's xenoestrogens. That's what I was speaking of, and they're present in a lot of additives that are in animal-based products, especially our milk, and the inner can linings, which are BPA contaminated, and in our cosmetics and our detergents and a host of chemicals. That's why it's important for us to replace and ditch these in our home. That's also why it's important for us to all together use Sulfurzyme and Ningxia Red and Master Formula and things that are going to build up and increase our body's nutritional levels and increase our support in general in our bodies for healthy hormones. So there are even crazy linkages anymore to Xenoestrogens, which are like natural estrogens, they're imposters that cause cell divisions, and they enlarge that process in the breast. So too many xenoestrogens can actually tell the pituitary gland to send out its monthly signal to increase our estrogen when it doesn't actually need to. Then it can repair the breast for lactation. Excessive cell division can also cause lumps, fibrocystic diseases, and even breast cancer, y'all. So you just don't want to have it. If you have a history of breast cancer, then you want to stay away from those xenoestrogens. So some ways to ditch those in your own home. Ditch all the plastics that you can in your house. Never ever microwave in plastic. Ditch your microwave if you can. That's something we've done. Never is ever eat food or store food in plastic containers. Okay, to be real, we store food in plastic all the time, but we're a work in progress. Stay away from weed killers that have insecticides. Avoid carbonless copy paper. Watch out for propyl glycate, which is an antioxidant a lot, like a synthetic one. Eat real food, wash fruits and veggies, use that Thieves fruit and veggie wash. Buy a Berkey water filter if you can. And guys, just make sure that you're using progesterone supplements to balance out that estrogen. Whew. So benefit of progesterone: reduces gallbladder activity, acts as an anti-inflammatory agent, reduces spasm and increases smooth muscle, increases core temperature, raises epidermal growth factor, which is our skin. It's going to be anti-inflammatory to our cell receptors. And guys, we need to make sure we're doing all these things as women. We are the gatekeepers of our home, and it is uber important that we take on this role and we make sure that we are maintaining a healthy pH balance when it comes to like our hair, our internal organs, and we're doing everything we can with supplementation to increase hormonal amazingness. And friends, I feel like this was not as interactive as I intended, but I hope you learned something tonight. And so I know for me, every single day I'm using my Clary Sage and my Endoflex and my Energy. I use my Dragon Time and my Clary Sage certain times of the month. I use Sclerescence in a capsule. Guys, I love Sulfurzyme for healthy hair and for healthy non-friction causing things in my body. I hope you will too, and it's my prayer for you that you as a woman will rise up, take control, be empowered, and know that again, you are the one that decides what goes in your home, and you're the one that decides what goes on your family and is consumed by your family. So be the leader, be the role model. Comment below with questions you have. Thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to see your fabulous hair and hear about your healthy hormones.